What is up, y'all? It's your boy Chuck, and I hope that you're doing well. I just got out of the theater to see Captain America: Brave New World, and I'm here to talk about my thoughts, interpretation of the movie, what I liked, and what I'm hoping to see in the future of the MCU. If you have not seen the movie yet, this is your warning that this discussion will contain a bit of spoilers. So save the video to watch for later and come back after you've seen the movie if you don't want to be spoiled. Now, let's get into it. Let's start off with the action. It's a superhero movie, so we should be sure to have a lot of that, right? I think the way that they displayed Captain America was awesome. Like when he pulls up to Mexico, takes out the entire group of people who stole the initial adamantium we see in the movie. He's able to ricochet and reflect bullets back to people off of his wings, storing kinetic energy and releasing it to dismantle big groups of enemies, like Black Panther did. Obviously, his wings are made of vibranium. What I really like as well is the action sequences we get to see where he isn't in his full suit. Maybe he only has his shield. Even in moments where he doesn't have that. I really like the way that his skill was displayed on screen, just showing that in different circumstances, he can handle business. Also, him and Joaquin Torres must have watched the John Jones versus Stipe fight, because there were a lot of spinning back kicks in the movie. Red Wing, his little robotic assistant that flew around, stuck with him on his back, was pretty cool, and it helped him in situations that normally would be a problem if all he had was his shield and his wings. Oh, and the flying was so sick. Oh my gosh, it was awesome just seeing him in the air looking like he's breaking the sound barrier. And at a point in the movie, he's even outspeeding and catching up to giving the dupe to F-18 fighter jets. Obviously, they revealed that the Red Hulk would be in the movie, but I will touch on that specific action sequence a little bit later. There are a few different dynamics in the movie and even some character development that we really don't see fulfilled until the end. The first dynamic I really like is the Sam Wilson and Joaquin Torres sort of Batman and Robin complex, with Sam taking him under his wing, literally. Torres does a great job displaying his fiery personality and his desire to be as involved with action as much as he can, and he shows that he has some advantages that Sam doesn't, like technological knowledge, being able to hack into databases, and a little bit of more knowledge about science, whereas Sam is more experienced on the fighting and flying realm. Another one is the adamantium conflict, right? The now president, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, wants to govern a treaty that will equally distribute the discovered adamantium from Tiamat, the dead celestial on Earth, which looked awesome, by the way, just towering and gargantuan and sick, to multiple countries. The adamantium definitely seemed to be a catalyst to a lot of conflict, but it wasn't the main motivation for the antagonist in the film, which I really kind of liked. I thought that they displayed Ross's character development in a pretty interesting way, having him invite Cap to the White House and claim that he's changed from his times of hunting the Hulk all the way to the Soviet Accords and Civil War. But you still have moments claiming that he doesn't want to have variables he can't control, seeming like this still leader that wants to just be in control of everything, in a situation where Sam and Joaquin have to go off grid and sort of have to dip away from the government to accomplish the mission, which obviously still leaves the audience doubting and questioning him. Eventually, we do find out that he has genuinely changed. His main motivation is to reconnect with his daughter, Betty Ross, and make her proud, which carries over into my next point and a big selling point for the movie, Red Hulk. I had no clue how Ross was going to become the Red Hulk, but I personally foresaw it as him being something he purposefully sought after. However, that wasn't the case. Dr. Samuel Stearns, as if you remember from the 2008 Hulk, was the doctor who was trying to help Bruce Banner get his gamma radiation under control. At the end, we see some of Bruce's blood leak into a wound and things start to happen. Long story short, it didn't make him stronger, but the gamma radiation affected his mind, essentially making him smarter, even though he was already smart. So during that situation, he was actually kept in a facility under Ross's orders, and that whole Abomination Hulk thing was pinned on him, because at that time, you know how Ross was. He had to pin it on somebody, and he wasn't going to pin it on himself. However, Ross did promise to free him if he helped him with something. The movie hinted that Ross had his hand involved in something that Dr. Stearns was working on. And knowing Ross, we're gonna assume that it's probably something involving use of gamma radiation for his personal goals, or something involving developing new military technology or what have you. But it was actually because his heart was failing. And he didn't know anyone else that could help him with his heart failure other than Dr. Stearns. So he developed some medicine that did heal Ross, but secretly put gamma radiation in it, leading to his transformation as the Red Hulk against his free will. The Red Hulk was displayed phenomenally. He's obviously super strong. They showed him jumping really far, bulletproof, and we even saw steam coming off of him, which is a nod to the fact that the Red Hulk gets hotter the angrier he gets. We all know him and Captain America fight, and it was a sick fight. Everyone was questioning how was Cap going to be able to make it out of this, but he was able to use his vibranium enhanced wings, his red wing assistant, and his shield to put up a pretty decent fight. And he basically stalemated the Red Hulk by stabbing him with the vibranium wing. And while he was stabbed, he released all the kinetic energy he had built up throughout their entire fight, which is a lie if you're getting hit by the Red Hulk. Eventually, Red Hulk got back up, but Sam was able to calm him down by mentioning his daughter. And to me, it's interesting how, whether she's there or not, Betty sort of has the ability to calm down two different Hulks, and that creates a subtle connection between red and green. So, coming off of what we just discussed, one of the lessons that the movie does portray is that people can change, and Ross is the prime example of that. He realized that what he did drove his daughter away from him, and it allowed him time to reflect on his actions and decide how he can be better in the future. Another big message was towards the end of the movie, Torres ended up in the hospital because with him just being young and fiery, sort of was being irresponsible in the air and got hit by a missile, getting him really hurt. He did pull through. He tells Sam he wishes he could be on point like him always. And Sam's response was powerful. He said, if I'm not on point, I'll feel like I'm letting everyone down who is fighting for a seat at the table. And there are different ways you can interpret that, right? To me, it transcends the movie screen and really shows Anthony Mackie's drive to make not only the role great, but make it his own. And like he said in the weeks leading up to the movie, Captain America isn't just about America, it's about representing everyone, the entire world. And I think a lot of people misunderstood that. No matter who you are, where you come from, what you look like. Very deep symbolism, but it didn't overwhelm the movie. Other things I loved in the movie was Isaiah Bradley, the way that they displayed that he's a super soldier, but he's still an older guy, kind soul. They display his abilities well, but he also sort of serves as an emotional anchor in the movie. Like, he's powerful, but he's also gentle, and you feel for him in the situation that he's in the movie. A lot of viewers are coming into the movie with the mentality that Sam Wilson isn't Captain America, and interestingly enough, that insecurity was displayed on screen by Sam, with him saying, I should have taken the serum. He said it seriously at times and then jokingly at times, and overall just having doubts about why Steve chose him for the role of Captain America. But Bucky reassures him and tells him he didn't give you the shield because you're the strongest. He gave it to you because you're you. And I think the reason that I enjoyed the movie as much as I did is because I came into it knowing that it is not a Steve Rogers Captain America movie. It is a Sam Wilson Captain America movie. He is a different person, and he will don the title in a different way. The end credit scene does show Sam visiting Dr. Stearns after all the conflict is resolved, but Stearns, being as smart as he is with his predictions and whatnot, asks Sam how he's going to protect the planet from other planets, foreshadowing future conflicts and the need to rebuild the Avengers, which was stated by Thunderbolt Ross at the beginning. I think it does set up the hype and possibilities for the future of the MCU, and that's what this movie is intended to do. I just hope that at some point we do get some sort of teaser or idea of how they'll introduce the use of adamantium in the MCU. They didn't really talk about it in the movie, they just introduced it, but we don't know exactly how it's going to be used. We just know it's more indestructible than vibranium, which will ultimately lead to, most likely, my boy Wolverine becoming a part of the main timeline universe in the MCU. I also hope to see them use Tiamat, the Dead Celestial's body, in a cool way. Like maybe his body being the headquarters for the new Avengers team, like they did in the 2018 comics, if you know about that. There are a lot of possibilities, and all I have is high hopes. There is a lot to unpack within this movie, and I do plan on doing different parts of that in separate videos, but for now, this is just my broad reaction and initial feeling after seeing the movie just a few hours ago. I hope you enjoyed the video. I am currently on the road to 100 subscribers, and I am at 73 at the time of recording, so if you did enjoy, drop a like and hit that sub button. Leave a comment letting me know what you thought about the movie, and otherwise, I will see you all for the next discussion.